Hey, how's it going? This is Brian from B's Music Shop. Today, I have a really personal piece that is probably one of the most unique guitars I've ever had. I'm so excited to open it and tell you the story of it. This is a guitar created by Doug Kauer from wood from one of my family forests. It's really an awesome story how this came to be. I can't wait to tell you about it. But before I get going, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. Those things make a huge difference to a little music store like us. If we can get you a cat t-shirt, if we can get you a cat toy, if we can get you a pedal, then when you play through, you play even whatever is in this box, whatever it could be, who knows what it is. It could turn it into a meowing little kitty cat, probably could do it. We also make a whole bunch of pedals that just have cats on them because I've probably lost my mind in my middle age, and that's what I do for a living, apparently. Hit us up, bsmusicshop.com. Your support makes all the difference. So I'm going to give you a little bit of what the story is of this guitar, and then I'm going to get it out, and I'm going to tell you the rest of it. As you guys know, a couple years ago, we did an interview with Doug Kauer. It led to us being friends. I started playing that pink Grippin. He refinished a Reverend for me recently. I'm not even sure I've even filmed with that much, but I have a family farm. My grandfather that passed away 24, 25 years ago, he had a lot of wood in this barn. It was all rough cut timber from his forest and probably about 1,000 board foot of it. And I noticed one day that Doug made his Corona out of pine. And I was like, I have so much like old growth Michigan pine that was cut down probably 40 plus years ago and has been properly stored and is just kind of, like, I don't know what we're going to do with it. My grandfather's passed away. We haven't decided what we're doing with the farm, and it's just sitting there. I asked Doug if he'd be willing to take a look at it if I chopped some into pieces and mailed it off to him. So 100 pounds of wood later, Doug picked a few pieces out of what we sent. He's made some guitars, and this one is the one that I'm keeping from this batch. I'm going to open this up. I'm going to check it out for the first time. It's probably not even tuned up, and then we'll talk some more about some of the choices we made. Here we go. Oh, I feel like I'm supposed to do like ASMR, like so satisfying. Can't wait to cut myself and just have blood like, ah, ah. That's not really what I should be doing. Kauer's these cool boxes. They have cats on them. Got this, don't need that. Ah. Let's see this guy. Oh, man. Oh my God, that's so cool. So this is it. This is my Kauer Grandpa Korona. So some cool things about this. This is literally pine from my grandfather's forest that he had logged and he tossed in a barn, and it's probably been out there longer than I've been alive. So this is barn age. This isn't a piece of barn wood. They were 8-foot pieces of real rough cut lumber, like what you'd get to build a guitar out of. I just have like hundreds of them. We're going to be doing some more guitars with them. In fact, we have another one on the way right now that's going to go out for sale. I'm going to use it up. I mean, I want to facilitate the creation of neat things. So, but this one I am keeping. If you've ever been to B's out back, if you ever noticed, there's a 1995 Ford F-150 pickup. That is actually my grandfather's pickup. It's the last pickup he had before he passed away in 2001. That pickup had about 20,000 miles on it, and then I ended up with it. I bought it off my grandma after his passing. It was my daily driver for a while. It became the store's truck, which we use for cardboard and Home Depot and packages and all kinds of random things you need when you own a business of carting things around. One of the funniest things about that truck actually is if you ever see the front license plate, it says World's Greatest Grandpa. And that was given to my grandfather in the day I was born because I was his first grandchild. So I've driven around the World's Greatest Grandpa truck for 23 years, and it's this color. And I told Doug, I want to see if this wood, if you get this wood and it sucks, like throw it out. Like I'm not trying to force you to make, a Kauer out of subpar materials, but let's just see if it's anything. He got it, and I told him, I was like, I really want it to kind of look like the edges. I'm like, I don't know if I want to go full on this green, but I'm like, I'd love to do it to silver, give it this like vintagey sort of appeal. And I was like, I want it to look like this truck. And then he's like, well, what year's the truck? What color? And we literally found Doug sourced the actual touch-up paint for that year Ford. So this is 1995 Ford F-150 in Calypso green. I never knew that was the name of it until until this, but that is what this color is. And it totally, like, green was always my grandfather's aesthetic. He had a lot of things. He just kind of, whereas I have a one note and it's cats, he liked green stuff. So he had a lot of forest green and light green and different things. So I think it's a pretty fun thing. I'm pretty excited. I'll read off the spec sheet here and then we'll actually check it out. But this is actually, I just think, so freaking pretty. So I just want to put it out there. And I'm not much of a natural guy. As you know, I am a flashy. This is a non-flashy guitar for me and probably way too flashy for most people. But for me, this is pretty toned down. I cannot believe that I now own a guitar with tuners on the top of the headstock. This is a new thing. I'm a little nervous. I don't know how to take this. I'm entering a new, I always said I wouldn't buy a guitar unless it was reversed headstock. So here we are. But let's read off the actual spec sheet. This guitar was plecked and it did a whole super cool job on it. This model Korona, serial number 413, top barnwood pine, back barnwood pine, neck is roasted maple, and the binding is white. Neck profile is a standard C, 1.66 of an inch width at nut, roasted maple fingerboard, 25.5-inch scale, 22 frets, 12-inch radius, Jeskar 47095 NS frets, and keystone inlays. And this is bumper car turquoise in our bumper car series of Kauer guitars. The bridge is a half bridge with compensated saddles, a descendant vibrato, hip shot, open back locking tuners. For the pickups, Curtis Novak made those pickups for me in my Kauer bass. A lot of stuff we get has Lawlers in it. Kauer, every pickup they use, wolf tones, everything. So good. I kind of wanted this, after hanging out with Curtis and getting to be buddies with him. I wanted to try his Novak Jazzmaster pickups. He also fixed a Jazzmaster pickup for me in a 58 we had recently and killed on it. So this is a Novak JMV in the neck and a JM Cajones bridge. It is 6 pounds, 15 ounces, 1 volume, 1 tone, 3-way blade. So let's check it out. For today's demo, I'm using this exact guitar. All right, it's a bridge pickup. He's so low. It's both pickups. So cool. It plays so good. play with some dirt. You like that? You know, I've never had a Jazzmaster tremolo on anything before. I'm like, let's go for it. Let's make it like nothing I own. I just want to point out my grandfather would probably not like any of the music I'm playing or anything I'm saying. He'd be like, He used to be like, do you ever play that Johnny Cash? Like, my grandpa also, this is true. I'm burying this in the video. He made wine and beer. He grew grapes and grew all these things. He would make his own beer. He had to put a handrail on the basement steps so that people could get out of the basement when they came over to visit. And sometimes he would, at night, he would play the trumpet, but he just went, and it took me until I was about 26 years old to draw the line between making homemade wine and at night playing the trumpet with your hand. Didn't really occur to me at the time that the two were related. Anyways, got this guitar now. I love the clean in the middle. Oh man, this is cool. I'm going to keep this forever. So this is not for sale, not under any circumstances, but it is fun and I wanted to show it to you. Partially because like I'm proud of it. I think it's cool. It's neat when you make friends and they make things and then stuff just happens. Like you have a couple of conversations and they go somewhere and go somewhere. And then before you know it, you know, this exists. That's a really, 27 years in this industry right now for me. I'm 44 years old. This is really the only thing I've ever done. And, the power of friendship year after year sort of surprises me with how many neat things can just be facilitated in this awesome industry. And it makes me really happy. I am doing more of them. There is one actually en route to us now that I'm going to do a video on when it comes here, made out of the same wood, made out of just a different cut of the same wood. Doug did a little bit different. He didn't do the tremolo. It has a little bit different finish on it. I can't wait to show it to you. I'm really excited. I hope people like these because I have 1,000 board feet of them, which probably means Doug could make, say, 300 of these guitars. I'm not sure Doug wants to do that, but, we're going to make some. We're going to see if people think it's a cool idea, a fun story, rather than just, some pine that comes from one of Doug's trusted and high-quality wood suppliers. Why not come from me? Why not come from, 15 miles from B's Music Shop? This tree was there and now it's a guitar and you got a little bit of the mitten, a little bit of California all together, one pretty little package here. So I super appreciate Doug, just humoring me on this and, helping me make this a reality. But hey, if we can get you a Kauer guitar, for the record, if you want me to help you make a one-of-a-kind Kauer guitar, I love to facilitate that. I've done it with people and kind of get you hyped up on what Doug can do and then talk Doug into the thing that I came up with. It's fun. It's fun. Everybody wins, and Doug might mutter a few times while he runs the machines that make things like this. But, I'm happy to have you have a guitar made out of my grandfather's forest. If we can get you a cat t-shirt, a cat toy. Cats love these toys. I love these toys. I love your cat. Let your cat play with our toy. We also make the cat pedal. It just turns your guitar into a cat. Take this guitar, take this very old wood, this cool story, and reduce it to a series of nonsense meows that will just, remind all of your musical career. But I'm into it. I'm here to help you. We also make a whole bunch of pedals that just have cats on them just because this is what we're doing. This is where we're at. So hit us up, bsmusicshop.com. Thank you so much for watching.